eating style over there than there is here. So I'm actually going to go on quite a little bit of a tirade here because when I grew up, there was the food pyramid. Everyone followed the food pyramid. Unfortunately, the food pyramid had a lot of not healthy things going on with it, where they prioritize carbs um, over the like lean proteins and stuff like that. And they've thus changed it to something called My Plate, which has like portion sizes in on a like plate diagram. However, in the United, like I know in Europe and other countries, they've actually removed a lot of the like preservatives and the fake chemicals, and a lot of times, like you explained, they actually shop on a daily basis for fresh produce, stuff they're going to use for the next day, and that's like a daily occurrence, right? Over here, right, we have the grocery store. You go to, it's like a one-stop shop. You show up, you cruise up and down the aisles, you pick all this stuff. You're getting a lot of processed foods, a lot of added chemicals, added additives, preservatives, like not natural things. And so for me, there are a variety of foods here. So we got like, all of the immigration that's happened has brought in, quite an abundance of Asian and some South American, there's Mexican, there's, occasionally you'll come across like a Russian restaurant or something like that. So there's like a variety of foods here available. Um,
Yeah.
However, like to shop, we go like once a week, right? And sometimes you go less than that. And you everything's about size. You're always trying to get more. Companies are always trying to sell you less for more money for some reason, right? So that's where all those chemicals and anti-caking agents and all the other stuff come in because they're substituting out these chemicals that cost less than the actual food that's supposed to go in it. So I've actually considered transitioning away. I was doing like a meal service. I'm not going to name it on here. So they basically deliver the meal to your door, right? Um, I've done carnivore diets. I've done you know, just like a standard, American diet, which is, consistent of unfortunately fast food, eating out, and then maybe a couple of home cooked meals.
And
So move,
let me say something about the fast food over there. It's huge portions. I mean, I've seen huge hamburgers. You would never find this kind of food in Europe. Huge hamburgers, huge portions of fries, and huge bottles of soda and so on. So the portions are very big.
yeah, I mean, and it's just so ridiculous. And when I look around, I see the increasing, like unhealthy, like patterns being repeated, like in childhood, and then that carries over into adulthood. Um, and that's not good. And I'm not necessarily here to shame anybody for like their eating habits. Well, we're just talking about food and diet and how it's changed over time. Like I said, I've done carnivore, I've done a meal service. Once I realized they were adding like a whole bunch of other stuff into it, we've canceled the meal service. We started actually kind of transitioning to like your style, right? Um, we're moving away from Me and my fiance are moving away from shopping at like the big stores. So
Mm,
we're getting most of our stuff from local farms, most of our
yeah.
meat, chicken, lamb, beef, pork, we're getting from local farms. Our vegetables we're picking up at local farms, the eggs, and so we're actually meal prepping using locally, sourced stuff, which is a lot healthier. I mean, but also it supports these smaller farms that, you're moving away from the bigger corporations and trying to reduce um, processed foods and additives and all this other stuff. So interestingly enough, when we've had dinner for like the last week or meals that we're prepping, we'll have a salad, fresh vegetables like hand cut, lettuce, locally sourced vegetables. We've got, some sort of cheese there. We've got local bread, local meat, um, that I'm cooking. I'm trying to reduce the amount of added stuff. So I'm using like natural garlic, real natural salt. I'm using, all these other things to try to transition away from the processed foods that are in America.
It's very hard to understand for me how someone can use these two words in the same I mean close by them, like natural garlic. I mean, is it any other kind of garlic or
So like
uh
when I look at like a processed garlic, I'm looking at not like hand crushed or diced, right? So something that's in a bottle. So
so
like
you're
the
not
garlic
buying
powders.
the garlic, you're not buying the garlic, the
No,
I
so
don't
you can buy like powders of foods, right? So onion powder, garlic powder, right? It's basically like garlic or onion that's like ground down into very fine powder, but they add like anti-caking agents to it, like
so
preservatives to keep it longer.
you don't find it in the stores, the garlic and
Uh,
the
oh yeah, we can find the garlic, but it's easier and cheaper a lot of times. And that's another thing that we'll talk about is like cost effectiveness of
Mm.
eating healthy is that in America, you buying all of these processed foods to save money. So you can get the healthy stuff like the organic, the non, GMO, non-modified, ingredients. You can get them, but they cost a lot more.